Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris welcoming you to the Channel 5 News. Today we're speaking with the parliamentary representative for the Point Michel constituency, which covers of course Point Michel, Soufrière, Scottshead and Gallio. Wide constituency, but it was one of the hardest hit by Hurricane Maria, leaving a number of people having lost their lives in this constituency. Pal Rep, how are you doing? How have you been keeping up? First of all, generally we forget that the people who are serving us are very, very human themselves.
Yes, pleasant good day to you, Mr. Morris, and to my constituents in Point Michel, Soufrière, Gallio and Scottshead, and to the viewers of Marpin TV News. I want to first give thanks to the Lord for His goodness and His graciousness. Our constituency received a devastating blow from Hurricane Maria. We lost we had 2 people who died as a result of this storm, and we have about 14 people still missing in Point Michel. In Scottshead, we had 1 person who died, and fortunately we had no loss of life in Soufrière and Gallio as a result of the hurricane. So far it has been challenging because I was really worried. I remember right after the storm I left my home about 4 a.m. to go to see what had happened on the roads. I had a group of people with me and the destruction was so much to take in. But the next day I told my team we have to try to move forward. So we have to start to put things in place for us to start cleaning up. But you know, during that time everybody was in a panic. Everyone was worried that they'll not be able to get food and water. And so people were more focused on trying to get their families settled, trying to get their roof temporarily covered, and to ensure they had food and water. But after a few days after the storm, we got the teams on the ground organized and ready to work. So I want to say a big thank you to my constituents. They have really been hardworking. I cannot call the names now because it's too numerous to mention, but it has really touched me the way we have pulled together to get our community clean, to run the relief centers so that we can get food to everyone and that we can get the place looking a little better so we could have vehicles move around the village properly in all hamlets.
As far as people finding a place to live following the storm, I see we're not too far away from this is the community center. This is the place where people are, some of the people find as a home now, they would call home for the time being, temporary shelter there for them. What is life like over there? Just stone's throw from where we are speaking for these people.
So we have about 8 people at the shelter and they have been comfortable. They have cots. If you see, they have solar lights, and you can see that they have a curtain hanging in. So they have made it quite comfy. The goal is to get them out to a more permanent home. We are looking at that at the moment. But in the meantime, they get supplies just for the shelter, and so they are quite comfortable. They cook, they play dominoes in the afternoon. So they are really making the best out of the situation and being patient with us. The community center also has the relief center. The council is fully operational, and we also have the medical center at the back because the roof of the health center got damaged, so it is housed right here. So this community center, you see, there is multi-purpose now.
Okay, you mentioned relief supplies. Have you had any concerns about the equitable distribution of relief supplies? Any complaints, any reports, and how is that going? You know there are some issues in certain areas.
Well, for our area, we are very organized. On the onset, we set out each village into zones. So for example, Point Michel is split into 8 zones. And so we have about 2 to 3 people per zone who is responsible for taking care of that area in Point Michel. And most of the people that are the head of the zones actually live in the area. So they know the people very well. They would know the needs if you have any person that is diabetic or many children in a home, and they would cater to the needs of that family. And then the packages would be delivered directly to the family so they don't have to come to the relief center or line up for supplies. If we miss out anyone by any chance, the relief center is open all day, so you can come and report, oh, I was not home, or I got skipped, or I'm visiting and I'm in Point Michel, and we will still give you supplies. So you don't have to necessarily be from here, but you might be here temporarily because of the hurricane. We'll get supplies to you. Soufriere, Scott said, is the same thing. We have it, the village split up in zones, and that has been working out well. We had a challenge in Soufriere. We started to distribute to homes, but because of transportation issues, they started to ask people to come and line up, and they distribute to senior citizens and sick people. In Galio is small, so it's easier to get everybody. So, but no major complaints. You'll always find little complaints here and there, but nothing major. Everyone gets food regularly in our constituency. We have Tuesdays and Thursdays are normally the days that we distribute food, and so far in my surveys, things are going smoothly. What's
the situation as far as the restoration of water in the community?
Okay, so we have water in Point Michel. Thank you to Duasco. They're currently working on the intakes in Soufriere. That may take a little time, but they have been very supportive, sending water trucks to Galio, Soufriere and Scott said in the meantime to assist with water supply.
Okay, we know this part is inevitable. We must talk of children and school. They were supposed to have gone back in today, but because of the weather, the education officials said, look, we'll have to have them come back tomorrow. Although there's a concern there with the system expected to hit tomorrow, perhaps they will rethink on that. But what have the children been doing in Point Michel since the storm?
Well, children have been playing. The UNICEF set up a tent here, and the goal was for us to have games for them during the day. We already had spoken to 2 young ladies who were willing to assist with that, to coordinate some activities for the children. But as you can see, a little wind came and it blew the tent down. We have the St. Luke's school. They're cleaning up the school. We have covered it with tarpaulins. So by this week, the sister will advise on how soon we can start school at St. Luke's School. Soufriere is going to be a bigger challenge. There's a lot of debris. It is blocked, and I was advised I need at least a bobcat to assist with the clearing up. So I'm working on that with the help of Jungle Bay, who has a bobcat, and they're going to look at it for me this week to see how they can assist in clearing out the debris, so we can at least make the entrance of the school accessible.
Parliamentary representative for the Point Michel Soufriere constituency, thank you very much for speaking with us here. It's a pleasure. Any final words you have as we look forward to, as the Prime Minister says, each one help one in terms of bringing the country back?
We have been in our community helping each other, and I'm very proud of that. The community spirit has been vibrant, it has been strong. Though Erica may have caused physical damage to our constituency, the spirit of the people is encouraging. And I want to continue to ask them to be patient with the government. We have a lot on our hands to take care of. Many people are concerned about their housing and what we're going to do about it if the government will assist. But the Prime Minister has a big plan for that. He's been working hard to raise funds for Dominica, and so we have to continue to pray and give support, and we will deal with the housing. We'll address the housing situation pretty soon. Let us continue to give God thanks that we have life, we have food, and at least most of us have shelters or temporary homes that we can stay at and be safe. But the mass housing, the housing issue is a big one. It's going to be a big challenge for us, because 90% of the roofs in my constituency are gone. So it's going to be a huge task, but we will deal with everyone in a fair manner.
Thank you very much, Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, the Honourable Denise Charles, just updating us on the recovery process in this constituency since the passage of Hurricane Maria.